Michael Owen went from teenage sensation to one of England's all-time great goal scorers.
And we beat Brazil 1-0 and I scored, took it round the keeper, still on the edge of the box and smacked it.
The goal was an outstanding goal.
His early electric days on the global stage have become something of English football legend.
Featuring in 2 World Cups and 3 European Championships, Owen is England's 4th all-time leading goal scorer with 40.
Watched him score goals for England in World Cups when I wasn't there, who'll go down in our history.
I've been lucky enough to play with him as well and see his quality firsthand. The contribution he's made to English football and global football as well is massive.
Recurring injuries have stunted his progress at both club and country.
Without maybe some injury problems at the latter end, he would have probably gone on and broken all the records, goal-scoring records.
Michael Owen's career was one of the most explosive and yet most tragic in modern football history. From teenage wonder kid taking the world by storm with his pace, precision, and clinical finishing to an injury-riddled veteran who left fans wondering what if. So, how good was Michael Owen really? A Ballon d'Or winner, England's great hope in the late 90s, yet a player whose career was consistently plagued by injuries and controversies. In this deep dive, we'll uncover the highs, the lows, and everything that has to do with Owen's roller coaster career. From the meteoric rise at Liverpool to the cruel fall from grace that left a lasting mark on his legacy. Born in Chester in 1979, Michael Owen's footballing talent was evident from a young age. His blistering pace and natural finishing ability made him the talk of English football, and he was quickly snapped up by Liverpool's academy at just 17 years old. Owen made his senior debut in 1997, and immediately you could just tell that he was something special.
Hey, Michael Owen, brilliant work. Karl-Heinz Riedler, the Sorcerer's Apprentice, Owen.
In his first full season, he netted 18 goals in the Premier League, winning the Golden Boot as a teenager, and by the age of 19, Owen had established himself as one of the most feared strikers in all of Europe. His combination of raw speed and composure in front of goal was rare. Defenders simply just couldn't keep up in that era, and there were a few forwards who could actually match what Owen was doing on the pitch. Owen's ability to break through defenses with such electric bursts of pace and precision when it comes to finishing was just on a whole nother level.
He managed over a goal every 2 games during his 8 seasons at Anfield, winning the FA Cup, UEFA Cup, as well as the League Cup twice under Gerard Houllier.
You know, he could beat players, he could go fast, and he had a fantastic skill in front of the goal.
But despite his success at Liverpool, there was an underlying tension that just followed him throughout his career. Criticism that he was too one-dimensional. This was actually some of the things that people argued at the time, and a couple of people actually argued that his game relied solely on pace, and once that was gone, so would Owen's effectiveness. For many, the defining moment of Owen's career came in 1998 on the biggest stage, the World Cup. England faced Argentina in the round of 16, and a 19-year-old Michael Owen announced himself to the globe with one of the most iconic goals in World Cup history.
Michael Owen, who at 18 had just become the youngest ever player to represent England at a FIFA World Cup.
Ayala is another 10-15 yards back, and then Michael he's got the momentum, and then the quality of the finish was absolute top.
Picking up the ball just inside Argentina's half, Owen burst past defenders, slamming through them with ease before unleashing a rocket past the goalkeeper. That goal on such a grand stage solidified Owen as not just a rising star, but the future of English football. Owen became the youngest player to score in a World Cup knockout stage, and his performances made him an England sensation. But with that rise came so much pressure. He was dubbed the next great hope for England, a nation still reeling from decades of international failures. By 2001, Owen had reached the pinnacle of individual success. After a remarkable year with Liverpool, where he helped the club to a famous treble, the FA Cup, the League Cup, and a UEFA Cup, Owen became the first English player since Kevin Keegan to win the prestigious Ballon d'Or award. He finished that season with 24 goals across all competitions, and his 2-goal performance in the FA Cup final against Arsenal earned it the nickname the Michael Owen Final.
Adams has stayed back for Arsenal. Pace here, Michael Owen again. Michael Owen, the boy is a genius.
His ability to score in crucial moments was what made him so dangerous. Owen had a knack for delivering when it mattered the most. However, this peak also marked the beginning of his physical decline. Owen was suffering from persistent hamstring injuries, a consequence of his intense speed at which he played. Although he won the Ballon d'Or and continued to also score more goals, the wear and tear on his body had begun, and it would only get worse from here on. In 2004, Owen made a dream move to Real Madrid, joining the famous Galacticos, alongside stars like Zidane, Iker Casillas, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldo, and David Beckham. But the dream quickly soured. Despite scoring 16 goals in La Liga, Owen struggled to find a consistent spot in the starting lineup. Madrid's politics and consistent rotation of the squad meant that Owen was left on the bench, despite having one of the best goals per minute ratios in the league. Some viewed his time at Madrid as a failure, but the statistics tell a different story. Owen actually had a highly efficient season in front of goal, but by the end of the year, he was unsettled and made the decision to return back to England.
However, a move to Real Madrid proved largely frustrating, but things didn't get much better on his return to English football, with a long line of injuries overshadowing his 4 years at Newcastle.
Critics argue that the move to Madrid was the first real downfall of Owen's career. He left Liverpool, where he was the hero, only to return back to England and play for Newcastle, a club battling for mid-table status. Owen was still scoring goals, but the magic and the momentum that he had at Liverpool had started to fade. As Owen's career progressed, the injuries started to pile up. The explosive speed that once defined him was no longer there. From hamstring tears to knee problems, his body betrayed him at the worst possible times. The injuries were devastating for England as well. Owen's ruptured ACL during the 2006 World Cup was a blow, not just to him, but to a nation that had pinned its hopes on Michael Owen, leading them to glory. He was never the same player after that injury. His ability to beat defenders with pace had diminished, and as a result, he had to adapt his game, becoming more of a poacher in the box. But this was still a challenge for the quite small Owen. At Newcastle, Owen struggled to find form and also fitness, and the media began to turn on him. Accusations of him prioritizing club football over his country, criticism of his commitment to Newcastle, and a massive wage bill all contributed to a growing sense of disillusionment with the player once hailed as the future of English football. In 2009, Owen made the controversial decision to join Manchester United, Liverpool's arch rivals. For many Liverpool fans, this was the ultimate sign of betrayal. But for Owen, it was a chance to win some silverware and to end off his career on a high note.
You're wearing a Premier League winners medal at last. How does it feel?
Yeah, well, as they say, if you can't beat them, join them. So that's been my motto really today. It's been fantastic. I mean, to win the Premier League is the pinnacle of anyone's career. It's fantastic and really proud today.
His time at United was a mixed bag. He scored that unforgettable last-minute winner in the Manchester derby against Manchester City, reminding everyone of his clinical instincts in front of goal. But for the most part, he was considered to be a squad player at Manchester United. With injuries piling up and continuing to limit his game time,
it's more serious than we thought. He gets operated on Monday morning, which terrible blow for the lad. Disappointing for us too. He never missed a training session all season.
Well, despite all of that, Owen actually managed to win the Premier League title and another League Cup with Manchester United, adding to his already impressive trophy cabinet. By the time Owen moved to Stoke City in 2012, it was a clear sign that his best years were behind him. He retired in 2013, leaving behind a legacy that was both celebrated and criticized.
The 33-year-old will call time on his career with Stoke City, the club he joined after being released by Manchester United last summer. The striker has endured a frustrating campaign so far, managing just one goal.
As a manager, I was blessed to have met him and to have him in my team, because his players like Jamie Carragher, Steven Gerrard, Gary McAllister, you never forget about those players. And also they make you win.
So was Michael Owen a legend, or was he overrated? His Ballon d'Or, his heroics for England, and his remarkable goal-scoring record? Well, that speaks of a player who at his peak was amongst the best in the world, but injuries, controversial moves, and the perception that he failed to fully live up to the early potential that he showed as a youngster, well, that has casted a shadow over his legacy. Owen retired with 222 career goals to his name, and let's not forget about a few major trophies as well, including the Premier League title, an FA Cup, the UEFA Cup, and a few others. He remains one of only a handful of Englishmen to win the Ballon d'Or, and his name is still mentioned in discussions of the greatest strikers of the late 90s and early 2000s. In the end, Michael Owen was a player who burned brightly, but briefly, a cautionary tale of what can happen when physical gifts are taken away by an injury. As Sir Alex Ferguson once said, Michael Owen was one of the best finishers that I've ever seen, but fate was cruel to him. So, how good was Michael Owen really? The truth lies somewhere between the highs of the Ballon d'Or victory and the lows of his injury-riddled decline. A player whose talent was undeniable, but whose legacy will forever be debated. But in my honest opinion, he was one of the greatest strikers of a certain era. Michael Owen's career remains a fascinating journey, full of twists and turns. His meteoric rise and his fall offers a lesson about the fragility of greatness in football. But what do you think? Was he a legend? Is he still a legend? Is he considered a player that was one of the greatest of all time? Or is he overrated? But that one is for you to decide. So let us know in the comments below. And also don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more footballing content like this. And we will catch you on the next one.